Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're doing a follow-up to our review of the Jabra Elite 65T. It's been 5 days, and I've been using these earbuds every day, and I want to share with you what I liked and what I didn't. Let's check it out. So today we're going to cover several points with the Jabra Elite. So far, we're going to talk about call quality, we're going to talk about battery life, we'll talk about the overall audio experience, including that pass-through feature that you can have with the earbuds, the fit, and we'll talk about the app. So let's first start with call quality. Now, one of the things that attracted me at the CES show to the Jabra Elite was the microphone array. The microphone array is supposed to give you superior audio experience when it comes to taking phone calls. In other words, that the person who's listening to you on the call is not going to get all the ambient noise, the wind noise that they would have, using standard earbuds. And that's been for me one of the biggest problems with any earbuds that are of this type, because they don't have the boom mic coming out. So what I did is during the Super Bowl yesterday, during the halftime break, paused it and then went outside. And we're in Chicago, it's snowing, and it's windy. And you're going to hear an audio sample of me outside in the wind and how these sound. Now, the audio sample is going to include the wind hitting me straight in the face, the wind hitting my left ear, the wind hitting my right ear, and then the wind hitting me from behind. And then I will put on a hoodie, and then the hoodie is going to cover up the earbuds and what the audio experience is as well. Now, keep in mind that there's probably going to be a little scratchiness when I put on the hoodie, but this should give you an idea of what the audio experience is like. So let's go ahead and check that out.
So here's an audio test of the Jabra Elite 65T. Doing this Super Bowl Sunday, and I have wind blowing directly in my face. We just had some snow here in Chicago, so that kind of sets the mood for the temperature. Right now I'm facing a decently rough wind coming my way. I'm going to turn my face away from the wind and then have the wind to my back and then see how the earbuds sound. So right now, wind should be coming only from one ear. It's coming from my left ear. And I'm going to continue to turn. So now the wind is to my back and shifting to my right ear. Let's see what the audio quality is like. I'm going to continue to shift and walk. And I'm going to put on a hoodie. It's going to cover the wind that's coming in. So you may hear some scruffiness just to see if that changes the audio quality at all. So this is what you should expect when using the Jabra Elite 65T, just in a real-world test.
All right, so now that you've heard the audio test, you let me know in the comment area if you thought that the audio was good, and is it doing what they say when it comes to wind prevention or the noise when it comes to isolating that due to that mic array. Now, let's talk about overall audio experience when I'm taking phone calls, and just what's my experience been for phone calls and the callers themselves. So overall, what I'm getting from the folks that I call on the phone is that they hear me. It's very loud, first of all, for the person on the other side. In some cases, I was told that it sounds like I'm on a speakerphone, but that I'm very close to the speakerphone. I'm told that the audio quality is like if I'm in front of the noise, not behind the noise, which is also really good, because sometimes you're on the phone and with earbuds of this size, people hear the noise first and you second. So they felt that the audio quality was good. They didn't really realize that I was on an earbud this small, and they felt that it did a decent job. Now, you can listen to the phone call in stereo mode. So if you have both of these in your ear, you're going to hear the caller in both ears. You can also take calls in mono by just using one earbud, but it's also always going to be the same earbud. Now let's talk about battery life. Battery life on these, they're rated for 5 hours with a 15-minute quick charge of 1.5 additional hours. Given my usage, right, so this is wearing them on commute, wearing them in the office, what I found was that I was never in a situation, and even working out, where I was using these for 5 hours straight. Now, there are times where I'm in a plane where I'll get the 4 hours in, but I never was in a situation where I was 5 hours straight. And because of that, I never ran out of battery power. And think about this scenario. As soon as you take these out, so if you're wearing them in the office or you're wearing them on your commute, when you're done, you're going to tuck them away back in this battery case. As soon as you put them back in the battery case, you're charging them again. And wherever you are, it's going to add an additional 1.5 hours to your experience. So I've gone one full week using these for workout, using these during my office commute and in the office, and they haven't died yet because of the just charging experience. So if you ask me, what's the battery life like? I give it a thumbs up. I say that these are great, never killed them, and I still haven't charged them once. Now, the Jabra Elite also has this pass-through feature that allows you to listen to what's going on around you and have kind of like a mix between the audio that you're listening to, if you're listening to an audiobook or music, and what's happening in your surrounding. Now, that feature works really well, but what I found during my experience is that every now and then I'd hear that audio experience, the outside world versus what I'm listening to, cut in and out. So there were some stability issues during my review. I also noticed that if you want to use this, like, so let's say you want to have kind of a library type of experience where you're not listening to music and all you want to do is drown out some of the world, and then still listen to some things if someone comes up to you and talk to you. You really can't do it with these. So unlike some of the earbuds that we reviewed that are specialty earbuds that focus on audio enhancements for listening, these are really not designed for that purpose. And the reason is that if you have these in your ear and you have that audio pass-through feature, and you're not listening to music, they eventually shut down, right? And that's where I was listening to that, where it would cut in and cut out the pass-through feature, and then eventually they would stop, and then I wouldn't hear anything. So if you're looking to use these in create like a library experience where you're not listening to music and all you're listening to is at a very low level, the outside world, they're probably not going to work that well for you. Now, if you do want to have them for noise isolation and just plug them in your ear, you have no problem because they do a really good job of isolating the outside world and muffling things out because of how they're designed and how deep they go into your ear canal. So they work well in that scenario, but not in the other. Now that audio pass-through feature, you can enable it by pressing this 2 times. So that was something that I was concerned with when I did the initial review. The one thing you cannot do is it's basically going to remember whatever settings you have. So the pass-through will work, but if you want to be able to make any adjustments or you want to change it from standard pass-through to mix as you see on the app, you won't be able to make any of those changes. It's pretty much just turning it on or off, but at least you can control it from the earbud. Now let's talk about music experience. Music was great. Good bass, good mids, good highs. They can get loud. They can get very loud. So give it another thumbs up when it comes to overall audio quality. So now let's talk about overall fit. How well do they fit? So haven't used them 8 hours straight because during breaks and as you put things away, you obviously put them in the little container here, the travel case and charger, but experience very, very little ear fatigue because they are extremely lightweight. I also found that while working out, they survived CrossFit type training, so jumping up, jumping down from boxes, running, and then also where I found many earbuds fall out is when you're doing bench presses. So when you're laying on your back and you're doing a bench press, they, typical earbuds I found will just pop out just because of where your head is in that moment. No issues with those scenarios with these. I did the shake test, so I shook my head left and right. Not too hard, but enough to see if they would fall out. This is something else that Jabra shows on their site, and they didn't fall out. So good fit. Great seal, very comfortable to wear, very little fatigue, and again, they don't fall out. All right, so now let's talk about the app. There's a couple things, one in particular that annoys me a little bit, and that's this right here. There is a Jabra service message that comes up, and I don't know why it needs to be there. I don't see any reason for it. It is just there, and I know you can disable that. But I don't want to go through the extra work. I don't mind seeing that I'm connected to the Jabra headset, but seeing this bottom piece is unnecessary. And that's feedback that I'm going to give to them. It just makes it more obvious that the program that is running in the background is just there. So I'd like that to disappear. Now the other thing I wish that the app had is that when you tap on the earbuds themselves, it tells you the functions that they have, because you do have functionality on one side for increasing and decreasing the volume, and then the other one you have that audio enhancement that I talked about, so that hear through functionality that we spoke about. It wasn't as, I wish if it had that tutorial, it would have been really easy to figure that out, and that was something that through experimentation and then also reading the manual, Who would have thought if you read the manual you would find that, but I don't read manuals, and I'm sure a lot of people don't either. So I wish that there was a little bit more here on the tutorial side. The voice assistant side, using Amazon Alexa was really easy. They have a really nice interface that walks you through that process, and I felt that it was very simple to use, and I tried that out, and that worked well. Now, over here on the hear through area, this is the area that I mentioned that you'd be able to control what you hear on the outside, and it's something that I really enjoyed when I was listening to music or listening to an audiobook, is still listening to what's going on the outside world. So there you have it, guys. There's not much not to like about the Jabra Elite 65T. I think Jabra did a fantastic job with these earbuds. I definitely give them a thumbs up. And stay tuned, because I'm going to do some comparisons between these earbuds, looking at the Samsung Icon X. Also, we'll bring in the Braggy Dash, and we'll do a comparison so that you can have a better sense as to which earbud you should get based on your needs. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.